Are you going places or left behind without a travel companion? Listen to how you can travel more independently. Dr. Mary Travelbest will bring you the best tips and her travel mistakes so you can benefit.
Welcome to Dr. Mary Travelbest's Independent Travel Guide. This is for women who travel, who want to travel, and especially for those who want to travel independently. In this episode, the FAQ is, what grown-ups around you influenced your travel plans? The destination is Mombasa, Kenya. The mistake is visiting Minneapolis, Minnesota in January, and the travel tip is about getting a real ID card. Here's the FAQ. You asked Dr. Travelbest, what grown-ups around you influenced your travel plans? So here's my answer. I'm going to talk about my role models. First of all, my mother and my grandmother and my dad. So I'm going to talk a little bit about all of them. My grandparents went back and forth to Ireland, often on steamer ships, back in the early part of the 20th century. So they were big travelers. My father, Jack McCabe, he was able to hitchhike across the country several times and served in the U.S. Navy. So he had many travels, and he talked about them all the time, including about San Diego. He and my mom took trips often together. They traveled to Ireland, Israel, and Canada, and almost moved to the Middle East in 1979. And my mom went to China with one other woman, smuggling Bibles in 1985. Who were your travel role models? Today's independent destination is Mombasa, Kenya. Maybe Africa is on your list of places to visit, and if so, you'll enjoy listening to this destination. I just like saying the name of the city, Mombasa. Mombasa is a tropical coastal city in Kenya, right along the Indian Ocean. It's the country's oldest and second largest city after Nairobi. The population is about 1.2 million people. It's really a beach city. The biggest danger here for a visitor is malaria, which is a disease transmitted by mosquitoes. So be sure to take the malaria medication prescribed by a physician well in advance of your visit to stay healthy. Now, the things you should do are wear loose clothes covering arms and legs. Men should not wear shorts. Cotton or linen clothing is recommended. And here's some travel tips. Do not use foreign currency or buy anything from an endangered species. Don't ask about somebody's tribe or take photos without their consent. Don't carry valuables. And if you can, get someone to guide you through the cities. I took the sleeper train from the city of Nairobi, which starts at mile-high elevation, and overnight ends up at sea level in Mombasa. It's a rural city with very poor people, but a delightful, warm ocean to swim in. One of my memories of Mombasa was sitting on the beautiful beach and seeing a ship that had CARE stamped on it. When I asked, I was told that these were goods that were going to be resold back to the people of Kenya. The ship came from Somalia, the country just north of Kenya. Now, Mombasa has a blend of people from India, Arabia, and Africa. It's like a melting pot. And you can visit places like the Fort Jesus Museum and also look for the famous elephant tusks in town. They're monuments to the illegal ivory trade. You can also walk through Old Town and, of course, spend time at the beach, as I did. Be sure to check the State Department travel advisory before you travel to Kenya. I spent a month here in all, and I found that this was one of my greatest experiences. Now for today's mistake. Minnesota in the winter. I visited Minneapolis in January. Do I have to say any more? The time to see Minnesota is any time when the weather suits you. In January, the daily high temperature is 24 degrees Fahrenheit, -5 centigrade, and the low is 10 degrees Fahrenheit and 15 degrees minus centigrade. So find the U.S. climate data in the show notes. Today's travel advice is to get credentials. Before your documents expire, now is the time to get the credentials. Get your real ID. your driver's license, your passport, your known traveler cards now when you can save time and money. As of fall 2020, the Real ID deadline has been extended to October 1st, 2021. So an extra year has been granted on something that was passed in Congress in 2005. Your state may have special rules on this item. Renew your driver's license before it expires. You may need to renew your passport 6 months before it expires. So ask about this before you travel. If you have less than a 6-month window, try to get it now. The known traveler card is a bargain for $100 if you plan to do any global travel in the next 5 years. Your TSA line will be shorter on every flight you take, so that could save you from missing a flight someday too. So the advice is prepare for your trip before you need it. So thanks for listening to the world's first guide to independent travel with Dr. Mary Travelbest. If you want to know more, just search for Dr. Mary Travelbest and you'll find me on the web, social media, and in all audio formats. Helping women travel best is my goal. So please send me your travel questions so I can help you and help others too. I'm looking for you to travel best. So go ahead, let me know what's on your travel bucket list.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travelbest, that is.